You know, there's something truly special about staying active as we get older. That daily walk around the neighborhood, the feeling of the sun on your face, the rhythm of your steps. It's comforting, isn't it? But here's something that might surprise you. Doctors are now saying that for seniors over 70, walking too much might not be the best thing for your joints, your heart, or even your energy levels in the long run. Now, don't get me wrong, walking is still wonderful in moderation. But as we age, our bodies need a little more balance. Too much of the same movement can actually wear down our joints, and it might not be giving us the full range of strength and flexibility we need to stay spry and independent. So, what's the solution? Well, it's not about moving less, it's about moving smarter. Today, we're going to talk about 5 essential exercises that doctors recommend for seniors over 70. Exercises that protect your joints, boost your strength, and keep you feeling energized without overdoing it. These aren't complicated gym routines or high-intensity workouts. They're simple, effective movements you can do right at home, and they'll make a world of difference in how you feel every day. Let's start with the first one, chair squats. Now, if the word squat makes you think of fitness influencers or weightlifters, don't worry, this is much gentler. Chair squats are exactly what they sound like, standing up and sitting down from a chair in a controlled way. Why is this so important? Because it strengthens your legs, your core, and most importantly, it helps you maintain the ability to get up and down safely, something we can sometimes take for granted until it becomes difficult. Here's how to do it. Find a sturdy chair. One with arms is even better for support. Stand in front of it, feet shoulder-width apart. Slowly lower yourself down, just like you're about to sit, but don't actually sit all the way. Just hover for a second, then stand back up. If that feels too easy, try pausing a little longer in that hover position. Aim for 5 to 8 reps to start, and over time, you can build up. The key is control, no rushing. Now, the second exercise is all about keeping your upper body strong, seated shoulder presses. You might not realize it, but we use our shoulders for everything, reaching for a cup in the cupboard, lifting a grocery bag, even getting dressed. If those muscles get weak, everyday tasks become harder. For this one, you'll need 2 light weights. Or if you don't have dumbbells, 2 water bottles or soup cans work just fine. Sit tall in your chair, weights in hand, and raise them up to shoulder height. Then, press them straight up toward the ceiling, and slowly lower them back down. That's 1 rep. Try for 8 to 10 reps, and remember, it's not about how heavy the weights are, it's about smooth, steady movement. Now, before we move on to the next exercises, I want you to think about how these 2 simple movements already cover so much: leg strength, balance, and upper body mobility. And the best part? You can do them while watching your favorite show or listening to the radio. No fancy equipment, no exhausting routines. Just small, consistent efforts that add up to big results. Speaking of consistency, let's talk about the third exercise, heel-to-toe walks. This one is fantastic for balance, which is something we all want to maintain as we age. Here's how it works. Find a clear space, maybe a hallway or alongside your kitchen counter for a little support if needed. Place one foot directly in front of the other, so the heel of your front foot touches the toes of your back foot. Take slow, deliberate steps, almost like you're walking on a tightrope. It might feel a little wobbly at first, and that's okay. That just means your body is learning to stabilize itself. Do this for about 10 steps, then turn around and come back. If you're feeling steady, try it without holding on to anything. This exercise strengthens those tiny stabilizing muscles in your ankles and legs, muscles that help prevent falls. And we all know how important that is. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but I love my daily walks. Should I really cut back? And the answer isn't necessarily to stop walking altogether. It's about balance. Maybe instead of a long walk every single day, you do a shorter walk and add in these exercises. That way, you're giving your body the variety it needs to stay strong and mobile. And speaking of variety, that's exactly what we'll be covering next. 2 more essential exercises that focus on flexibility and core strength, both of which are game changers for staying active and pain-free. But for now, why not give these first 3 a try? Even just a few minutes a day can make a difference. Remember, this isn't about pushing yourself to exhaustion. It's about building strength where it counts, so you can keep doing the things you love for years to come. And trust me, your future self will thank you for it. You know, one of the things I hear from so many folks over 70 is this: I just don't feel as steady on my feet as I used to. And that's completely normal. Our balance naturally changes as we get older. But here's the good news: just like we can strengthen our muscles, we can also improve our balance and flexibility with the right kind of movement. That's where the next two exercises come in. Let's start with seated leg lifts. Now, this one might sound simple, but don't let that fool you. It's incredibly powerful for building strength in your hips and thighs, which are key for stability. Here's how to do it. Sit in a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Keep your back straight, no slouching. Now slowly lift one leg straight out in front of you, keeping your knee as straight as you comfortably can. Hold it for a few seconds, then lower it back down with control. Repeat this 8 to 10 times on each leg. If that feels too easy, try adding an ankle weight, or even a light resistance band around your thighs. But if you're just starting out, your own body weight is plenty. The key here is control, no swinging or rushing. This exercise helps keep your hip flexors strong, which is crucial for walking, climbing stairs, and even just getting in and out of the car. Now let's move on to something that might surprise you: wall push-ups. Yes, push-ups. But before you panic, these aren't the kind you see athletes doing on the floor. These are gentle, effective, and perfect for maintaining upper body strength without straining your wrists or shoulders. Here's how they work. Stand facing a wall, about an arm's length away. Place your palms flat against the wall at shoulder height, fingers pointing up. Now slowly bend your elbows and lean your chest toward the wall, just like a push-up, but standing. Then, press yourself back to the starting position. Aim for 8 to 12 reps. If that feels too easy, take a small step back to increase the challenge. Why are these so great? Because they strengthen your chest, shoulders, and arms, all the muscles you use for pushing yourself up from a chair, lifting groceries, or even opening a stubborn jar. Plus, they're much kinder to your joints than traditional push-ups. Now I want to take a quick moment to talk about something important: breathing. It might sound obvious, but so many of us hold our breath when we exercise without even realizing it. And that can make movements feel harder than they need to be. So, as you do these exercises, whether it's leg lifts, wall push-ups, or any of the others, remember to breathe. Inhale as you prepare for the movement, exhale as you exert the effort. It makes all the difference. And here's a little bonus tip: try pairing these exercises with something you already do every day. For example, do your seated leg lifts while watching the morning news, or fit in a few wall push-ups while waiting for the kettle to boil. That way, it doesn't feel like an extra chore, it just becomes part of your routine. Now, before we move on to the fifth and final exercise, I want to remind you, progress is personal. Maybe you can only do 5 leg lifts right now, or maybe wall push-ups feel a bit shaky at first. That's okay. The goal isn't perfection, it's consistency. Even small efforts add up over time, and before you know it, you'll start noticing little improvements, like reaching for something on a high shelf without wobbling, or feeling stronger when you stand up from your favorite chair. And that brings us to the last exercise, one that ties everything together and helps keep your body moving smoothly. But we'll save that for the next part, because it's something truly special, a movement that improves flexibility, posture, and even digestion, all at the same time. So, for now, why not give these 2 exercises a try? Even just a few minutes a day can make a real difference. And remember, this isn't about keeping up with anyone else. It's about feeling your best, at your pace. You know, there's something truly remarkable about how our bodies respond to gentle, consistent care, especially as we get a little wiser in years. It's not about pushing ourselves to extremes or trying to turn back the clock. It's about giving our bodies what they really need to stay strong, flexible, and full of life. And that brings us to the fifth and final exercise, one that might just become your new favorite. Let's talk about seated torso twists. Now, if you're thinking, how can something so simple make a difference? Just wait. This movement is a quiet powerhouse for your core, your spine, and even your digestion. Here's how to do it. Sit tall in a chair with your feet flat on the floor. Place your hands on your shoulders, right hand on right shoulder, left hand on left, like you're giving yourself a little hug. Now gently twist your upper body to the right, looking over your shoulder if you can. Hold for a few seconds, then slowly return to center. Repeat on the left side. Aim for 5 to 8 twists on each side. What makes this so valuable? Well, as we age, our spines can stiffen up without us even realizing it. That can lead to hunched posture, back pain, and even trouble taking deep breaths. But these gentle twists keep your spine mobile, your core engaged, and your organs, yes, even your digestive system, thankful for the movement. Plus, it's incredibly soothing. Try doing it in the evening while winding down. It's like a mini reset for your whole body. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. These 5 exercises, chair squats, seated shoulder presses, heel-to-toe walks, seated leg lifts, wall push-ups, and seated torso twists, aren't just random movements. They're a toolkit for maintaining what matters most: your strength, your balance, and your independence. And the best part? You don't need a gym membership, fancy equipment, or hours of free time. Just a few minutes a day, a sturdy chair, and your own willingness to show up for yourself. I'll let you in on a little secret. The seniors who thrive the most aren't necessarily the ones who move the most. They're the ones who move the smartest. They listen to their bodies. They celebrate small victories, like noticing it's easier to stand up from the couch or feeling steadier on their feet. And most importantly, they keep going, even on days when motivation is low. Because consistency, not perfection, is what adds up to real change. So here's my challenge to you: pick one of these exercises to start with today. Just one. Maybe it's the seated shoulder presses while your morning coffee brews, or a few heel-to-toe walks down the hallway before bed. Whatever feels doable. Then, as it becomes a habit, add another. There's no rush. This isn't a race, it's a lifestyle. And remember, you're not alone in this. Thousands of seniors just like you are rediscovering the joy of movement, one small step at a time. So why not share your journey? Drop a comment below and let us know which exercise you're starting with. Or maybe you've already noticed a little improvement. We'd love to hear from you. If this video helped you, do me a favor, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. It's the best way to make sure you don't miss more tips like these, all designed to help you live your best life at any age. And finally, here's the most important thing I want you to take away: you deserve to feel strong, capable, and full of energy, no matter the number on your birthday cake. So here's to moving smarter, celebrating progress, and embracing every day with confidence. After all, age isn't about slowing down, it's about stepping into your strength. Thanks for watching, and remember, you've got this.